Happy Halloween and welcome back to some Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. Shall we see what's going on a lovely island on Fawnhollow today? Where, of course, today's Halloween. I have time travelled 1 hour just into the future because it's currently 4:25 round for me, and the Halloween event in Animal Crossing doesn't start till 5:25. But yeah, Halloween has come around once again. A whole year's passed, which just means talking about Halloween stories, of which I don't really have all that many because I have not really been trick-or-treating all that often. In fact, I think I've only been trick-or-treating once that I can think of. Didn't really celebrate Halloween much when I was younger, but anyway, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 5:25 PM on Sunday, October 31st, 2021. Until midnight today, we'll be treating you to a special Halloween event, and no, this is not a trick. Everyone will be dressed up or will give out candy to folks in costume. It sounds like so much fun. Sadly, I won't be able to take part from behind my desk, but this has plenty of Halloween spirit, and with it, I'll get back to work supporting you and your enjoyment of our island. Thank you, Isabel. From what I could tell, it seems like this Halloween event is no different from the previous ones. The only, different thing is we had, more items, I suppose, appear in Nook's Cranny, and to be honest, that's kind of probably what we should expect heretofore with future events, that they'll just be repeats. But hello, Tank. Sometimes I hear others talking about training my brains, but I've no idea what to live to. Or my brain muscles we've had up before. We will bust out the old bug wand and get a good old Halloween costume going. Never mind, we don't have a Halloween costume on our bug wand, so we'll go get changed to try and fit the spooky season just a little bit more, don't you think? But yeah, so I mean, I can tell the one Halloween story I have, which is it's something along the lines of when I was very young, when I was like 6 or something, maybe even younger. I was talking about Halloween, I suppose, with a friend, 2 friends, I suppose, during school time. And they were talking about like how they had a vampire costume. Both of them, surprisingly, had a vampire costume ready for Halloween, and we're going to go trick-or-treating. And I was like, oh, I've never been trick-or-treating. That sounds fun. And then one of my friends, he was like, you should come join us, I think. It'll be really fun if we do it together. And I'll be like, yeah, okay, sure, why not? And then I remember, isn't it like you get more candy if you trick-or-treat as Jack to them or something? I can't quite remember. And then I remember like asking my parents, being like, hey, can I go trick-or-treating with them? And my parents were like, sure, why not? You don't really have a costume though, so I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll make a costume, and here's where you think, oh, why don't you make that the typical sheet ghost costume, I suppose. Cut out two holes in a bed sheet, drape it over your head, and bada bing, bada boom, you got a perfect little spooky ghost. I didn't do that. I did make a ghost costume, kind of. I think I put on like one of my father's like tops, I suppose, which had quite long sleeves on me, obviously, because I was, like a meter tall or something. What the heck was that? Do you hear that? I swear I heard someone go, brrr. Hello, Tank, trick or treat. Isn't Halloween the best? Oh, I forgot the candy. Ooh, except when you get tricked. I guess you probably watch out for anyone wandering around in costume today, unless you have candy. I mean, do you have candy? Asking for me, because trick or treat. Better give me some candy unless you want to be tricked. Wait a second, you don't have any candy at all, do you? Oh well, I just feel bad for you. But you know what? I'm going to help you out. It's like when you knock someone down in the middle of some intense water skiing, you help them up. So here's some candy on me. Don't mention it. I forgot we were meant to grab some candy from our storage. Thanks, Tank. Don't expect another handout from me, though. Stay on your tones. Have fun. Have fun. Of course, getting all these items is not particularly necessary for us. We already got them all last year, but we might as well join in the festivities. Yeah, so I put on like this really long top. I put on like some white trousers, and probably not mine either, I can't recall. So basically I was just like a tiny little kid in these like really oversized clothes or whatever, and being like, I'm a ghost. Ooh, spooky, right? I might have had some white face paint as well. We might have had one of those like face paint kits. Like, you get those kits when you're a child. Where is all our candy? Full of just like random stuff. Like one of them is like you make balloon people, like blow up some balloons and like stick some eyes or whatever on it. Do we know candy? I feel we should definitely be holding this. Oh, we have 7 pieces of candy. That's not really a lot, but we'll make it work, I suppose. I guess it's should have probably been buying more throughout the year. I thought we got some. Oh no, we didn't get any from Festival. That's right, because in New Horizon, it's in New Leaf or Wild World, sorry, where Festival uses candy. I got them confused. I thought I had a load saved up from last year. Is it just you here, Tank? Where's everyone else on it? Where's everyone else out? So as a kid with like very oversized clothes, being a ghost, and then like I remember I had to call my friend's mother like on the phone, which was incredibly scary, being like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. Actually, I probably was like 5, a 5-year-old child, talking to an adult on a phone, like having to call up someone's house. At least it was scary for me. Maybe it wouldn't be scary for you when you're that age. I don't know. Everyone's different. But I called him, and then I remember she was really nice to be like, "Oh, you want to come trick or treating with us? Yeah, why not?" My son, I won't say his name, obviously, was talking about it, and he, you know, mentioned it, and or like maybe she got the son on the line, and like we agreed, or I can't really recall, but she was like, "Oh yeah, meet us up here," and I was like, "Oh, I was really excited," and "Oh, hello Jack, you're just right here, I guess." And then I got like, I didn't have like any Halloween bags or themed things. Like I remember I met up with them and they had like these like they actually had these like pumpkin like baskets to get trick or treat things, and I think I just had like a gift bag from like, I don't know, some gift shop. It was just some very random green bag. But then I joined around for trick or treating, and it was a really good fun time walking around the neighbourhood. I'm sure looking back I looked probably quite silly, but you know, I'm not sure many people are looking at like some young child being like, "Oh, look at them looking so silly trick or treating," or whatever. It was a very fun time. And I got a lot of candy. I remember at one point I was leaving, I think we trick-or-treated like his grandma or something, and it was very cute, and she was like, "Oh, trick," and then I remember like beforehand my friend gave both of us as like, "Oh, here's some like fake cobwebs, and if anyone says trick, we'll just like chuck the cobwebs at them." And this was like the only opportunity, because of course everyone's expecting Halloween around this sort of time, and you only trick or treat really at people's houses who actually have a whatchamacallit, they're like pumpkins up around the place, so you can actually, you know, expect them to be participating in the Halloween festivities. So of course, you know, like everyone's kind of expecting some trick or treaters to come around the door going trick or treat. So no one actually said trick at any point. So that was the first person who said trick. And it was this lovely old grandma. She was like, "Ooh, trick." So we chucked some cobweb at her. And it just like landed squarely on her arm, I remember. "Hello. Trick or treat. So what's it going to be? Candy for me? I do have a prank ready too, dearie." What are their tricks? I don't remember what their tricks are, to be perfectly honest. Oh, they change your face paint, right? That sounds right. They change your face paint or something along those lines, or... Because they used to like turn your clothes into like rotten clothes and that sort of thing, but you know, obviously they don't want to do that anymore, because people probably got kind of upset being like, "Hey, I just lost my really expensive clothing because my animal friend in the village just turned it into rags." And talking to people, that's a very convenient Nook Mile mission to be having. Obviously we're not going to do much Nook Mile mission farming today. Instead we'll just be walking around trick-or-treating. Yeah, I remember we trick-or-treated our not our next door neighbours, our next door neighbours, like 2 doors over, because they were like so they were kids slightly older than us. Can't remember, but they weren't trick-or-treating, which was weird, but we trick-or-treated at their doors. I remember they also were like, "Oh, what trick do you have?" and, you know, chucked cobwebs at them, and they found it fun. But just like 2 young boys, from what I recall. "Trick-or-treat, kiddo. If you don't want to get tricked, you best start handing over your candy." Oh, you can give lollipops to people? How happens if you give a lollipop to you? I know you're meant to give them to Jack, right? You came prepared. Alright. I'm slightly impressed. Reckon I owe you a treat now. How about I give you a spooky candy set? Hey, that's one of the new ones, I believe. Who else did we trick or treat? I don't remember. I remember there was one house we went up to and we saw a bowl next to it and it said, "Please take one." For some reason we rang their doorbell anyway and said to trick or treat, and they were like, "Oh, you can just take one from a bowl." I remember at the time thinking, why did we do that? Because of course, you know, me being a rather pragmatic child, being like, it says take one from a bowl. Why do we ring their doorbell anyway and not just take one? And I'm sure the people who were there were quite annoyed as well, being like, why can these kids not read or something? But you brush it off anyway. You just go like, "Oh, you know, kids are kind of stupid." Sometimes maybe they just didn't see it. And probably their parents as well. "Hiya, having a good Halloween, dear? When I was picking up candy for today, I made sure to set some aside for you." "Aw, thanks, Biscuit. Your outfit looks fantastico. Now let's Halloween the heck out of tonight. Yes." I will say everyone seems to be having the same outfit on. Everyone's got devil horns plus some other outfit on. What other trick or treat has? I don't know, because we haven't had like many like people, at least back in that neighbourhood, who really went out decorating our houses. And then the only thing we did like for a couple of years in a row, I did some pumpkin carving. Now the point is, the problem being, hello Lee, we didn't really have any trick or treat. "Could I have some candy, please? If not, I'll play a trick on you, Rainy. Here, have this." We didn't have many sharp knives, I suppose, to actually cut the pumpkin with. So the first time we did it, I think we must have been like in Sainsbury's or something, or we walked past pumpkin. I was like, hey, can we get a pumpkin? I want to try actually like carving a pumpkin. And I remember like I drew it on with like a pen, some really angry eyes. He had like a scar across the face and like sharp, jagged teeth. And then when it came to actually cutting out, it was such an arduous process because the only knife we had was not very sharp. Hey, you're dressed up as a bear. Isn't it kind of weird, you know, if you think about it too hard about animals dressing up as animals, other animals at Halloween? Oh, wait, isn't this one called like a monster suit or something? Maybe not, I can't remember. But yeah, and like I carved it out and I was like really trying hard, you know, really getting like detail in the angry eyes and the little scars or whatever, so the light can shine through and make it look super spooky. But it was just so pain. I think I was using a bread knife as well, like one of those serrated knives, which not very useful for sawing through a pumpkin, mind you. It's kind of not really its intended audience, shall we say. A pumpkin, that is. Pumpkins, if you, like, I don't know, and I often haven't really run into pumpkins, and because, as I said before, Halloween is much more of an American centric tradition, and I think it is as big in the UK, but maybe it's not, and then your mileage may vary, but, so I feel like it's really common, you know, you just hear about, like, people in America going to, like, to a pumpkin patch, going out to pick out the perfect pumpkin. I don't even know if pumpkins grow in the UK, I assume they must do, somewhere. Happy Halloween! Thanks, Audie. Oh, you know what? We should spook people by using the spooker mode. Do we still have it on our little thing? We do have one. We should be spooking people that we see. Yeah, but like, I hear Americans going to like pumpkin patches and that sort of thing, and you know, carving out. No, I'm picking out like a good-sized pumpkin, and some pumpkins go like to meters tall or something. Maybe not meters, maybe meter tall. Tank is really the only person over here, huh? Hey, Tank. Who have we not said hi to? Raymond and Vivian, I think, and Phoebe. Hello, Jack. I guess we can give you a lollipop, right? What happens if we give you candy? Trick or treat. Ho ho ho, hee hee hee. I'm Jack, the reigning czar of Halloween. This is a night for frights and delights, which come but once a year. That's right, Halloween is here. Ah, what a thrill it's been to see the day draw near. The anticipation gave me goosebumps. Pumpkin. That doesn't rhyme. Do you think you fit the bill? Sure. Accomplice. Hee hee hee, what an agreeable little minion. I reward my servants handsomely for work well done. Delectable candy. Trick or treat. Come, come, hand me the candy. Here you go. Oh, we could have just said now. Perhaps we should just say nah next time. Wee hee hee, time to treat myself. Nom nom nom. Good old Jack eating away. Jack's robe. Oh yeah, we get Jack's robe, Jack's pumpkin, and then we give lollipops, and we get like a spooky carriage, I think. Lollipops. You feel it in my bones. Someone has a lollipop. What happens if I say no? Do you play trick on me? Don't disappoint me. Well, I want to see what happens if I say no. There's no hiding. Jack always knows. Trick or treat. Come give me quick. Nah. I offered you treats, but this behaviour has earned you a trick, pumpkin. Scree, beware between carrot and stick. You pick trick. Quickly now, pumpkin. I'll make you look sick. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Change skin and change the face paint. Ho ho ho, hee hee hee. See what becomes of those who oppose a tycoon or terror. Now then. If you want a face back, run along and find a mirror to fix it, pumpkin. Okay, we'll give you a little lollipop. It's a bit worrying thought. How does he manage to change our skin colour? And eyes. He managed to put contacts into our eyes. That's scary. Also quickly as well. Happy Halloween. 'Tis the grandest candy. My very utmost favourite. Okay, you know, we've seen this dialogue. You've seen this old hoot nanny before. Carve pumpkins. Yes, and you go to like pumpkin patches. Pumpkin patches look like they're a lot of fun to walk around. But also, it's sort of like, I suppose it's the same feeling I get when I see like pick your own like strawberry fields, where it's like, oh, this is fun, you know, when I was younger, walking around like and picking some strawberries, like filling up a nice basket and bringing them home to eat. But like it's kind of boring after a while, isn't it? It's not like strawberry fields are particularly that diverse. You sort of walk in, you know, you walk up one like row of a field, and you know you pick a few strawberries, and you know every other row is the same. That's kind of a point of it, isn't it? I guess perhaps the fun of it is trying to find the perfect strawberry to pick the most delicious, the most delectable ones, I suppose. But you don't really do that with pumpkins, right? It's not like you go through a pumpkin patch and you take out, like, maybe you take out a couple of pumpkins, but it's not like you're going to be carrying like 5. At least strawberries you pick up like 30 or so. in one batch. Well, I mean, depends how many you want. And they probably charge by weight, is what I'd imagine. But strawberries, at least you can do it multiple times. With pumpkins, is sort of like a one and done deal most of the time. And what do you do with those giant pumpkins? Do those giant pumpkins even taste any good? Trick or treat. So what's it going to be? Candy for me? Nothing for you, Vivian. I see. You've made your choice, Canape. Now I'll make mine. Take that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How did that suit you? I do have an artistic touch. What? You want to know how to change it back? You can change your look back by using a mirror of vanity. Oh, wow, you actually give us a mirror. Whoa, that's a hidden way to get a mirror. Go on Halloween, get tricked, and then give us a mirror. Can I give you candy? Fine, I guess I'll spook you. You get tricked as well. Why can't I trick or treat you? Oh, she didn't like that in the slightest. Well, let's change our look back, I suppose. Don't want to look like this forever, even if it is Halloween. Change it up. Change it up, up, up. Is this the one we had, or is this the one we had? I don't know, we're going to do this one. And we didn't have these colour eyes, we had these colour eyes. And we had custom design face paint. Not those, we had this. Lovely. Yeah, so that was the first year I carved pumpkins. Not a very interesting story, to be honest. Oh, who's here? Who's here? Oh, Raymond, there you are. Trick or treat. Oh, you dressed as a... Wait. I was going to be like, are you dressed up as a vampire? And kind of, but you got a top hat on. I don't think vampires usually wear top hats. I guess you're just some sort of magician. Swag. But I got pumpkins a couple of other times, I think. I remember one time I did it after we moved house, but no one came to trick-or-treat. I will say, there's not many all about trick-or-treating. Hold on, is that... I don't know which I love more. The taste of enticing perfume of it all, sweetheart. New dialogue. If you find out candy, you might find... Hold on. I didn't realise why I talked to you more. Yeah, different dialogue. So what do you think? I hope you like my costume tonight. Halloween really expands my fashion options, sweetheart. I suppose it expands it to costumes, which is not really something you wear in an everyday sort of life. Well, at least I don't. Perhaps you do. It's all in good. It's all in good fun when friends scare each other a little bit on Halloween, right? I'm talking about minor scares, like when you order Tom Yum Kung and get mulligatawny instead. I don't even know what those are. Sounds like a Cantonese word for a dish, but I don't know. Halloween is as much as a fashion show as it is a chance to give me candy. All of the outfits I'm seeing are inspiring new collections I'm working on. Buongiorno. Fair enough. You do you. Amelia's going to have the same thing as Vivian. What if I just run away? What if I just spook you instead? Trick or treat. I already gave you candy though. You want more candy? How much candy could you possibly want, Amelia? Yeah, I got pumpkins a few other times, but no, we didn't really get many trick-or-treaters in the first place. Like, in the times we lived around the place, I think it was probably, you can count in your hands how many trick-or-treaters we actually got. Like, and I think I told this before, and one time I dressed up as a bat, which basically I wore this, like, one of my mother's shawls or whatever. It was really big when I put on some cat ears or something, and you know, I wore some dark clothing. I was like, oh look, it's a bat costume. That year I think 2 people came to trick or treat. One of them was our neighbour, mind you. Our next door neighbour, and the other was just like some random, at the time they looked to me like much older and like teenage girls. In my mind I was like, wow, these people are like 26 or something. They're not 26 probably, they're probably looking back they were probably like 14 or something, because I was like actually, maybe they were like 16 because I was like 12. I remember they had like these sparkly like LED devil horns on. That's what I remember. I love seeing everyone all dressed up for Halloween. Helps me know who I ought to buy for candy. Gahaha. I'm not really dressing up type, but I am about to pass up a chance to make my neighbours jump. Gahaha. You scare folks and you get scared by folks. You give out candy, you get handed candy. Halloween. Interesting how Apollo doesn't actually give you like any in-game hints about what to do if you run out of candy, like the snooty villagers do. Ain't that weird? I guess we'll go say hi to Biscuit again. See your venue dialogue. But it had like sparkly LED shining devil horns on, which was interesting. Not in a bad way interesting, like in a cool way interesting, I suppose. Hey, you're back, or maybe it's someone dresses you. Kinda hard to tell tonight. Did I already tell you how neat you look? I did? Oh, okay then. Have another piece of candy. Aw, Biscuit. You don't want the candy for yourself? Happy Halloween. Go be a thing that bumps in the night. Yes. What did lazy villagers say? I think I might go out later too. I gotta remind myself costumes aren't real, and they can't hurt you. Aww. How's it going out there? Pretty fun? I sort of hope folks start coming over for candy soon, but if they don't, then there'll be more left for me. What a sweetheart you are, Biscuit. Yeah, there's like 2 people who came trick-or-treating. To be fair, we did like live in like a cul-de-sac road, which just basically means we're like a dead-end road. It was like kind of off. It's not quite off a beaten path, but it was a bit awkward to walk to. And I'd imagine perhaps not many people were out there like putting decorations down, so not many people really wanted to come down here, and because they're like, oh, not many people are actually participating, I suppose, in the Halloween spirit over here, which is, you know, understandable. I can't really fault them for that sort of thing, that sort of logic, that sort of understanding. You gave me candy, so I'll give you a spooky wall. It's the law of equivalent exchange, I suppose. Hope tonight brings lots of Halloween fun, Rainy. Everyone's costumes are so nice. I'm really happy with how mine turned out too, Rainy. Yours looks lovely, Lily. Do you like my costume? I could get used to this. I could get used to this. Steak with cheese and random. Oh, sorry, it's random Transformers parody. I don't know where that came to mind. Yeah, I really don't have any Halloween stories. I'm trying to think what else, because I definitely carved a pumpkin again at one point, and we put it outside. You know, as the universal indicator of being like, hey, come trick or treat at our house, and no one came. Because to be fair, even I think at that point as well, we also lived in like a bit of an area which was difficult. Well, not difficult to get to, but it's kind of awkward, and like, you know, the place I lived in, the streets are kind of, the residential streets are kind of spread out everywhere, but we don't live in a large congregation area of residential streets. Yeah, Halloween can be a little bit scary, but it's all in good fun. It's fun to feel your heart racing every so often, right? Yeah, that's all. Also why I run 22 miles every day. That's a lot of miles. Seems like everyone around here is really getting into Halloween, don't you think, Based? I'm just glad I found a costume that still shows off my muscle striation. So how's Halloween treating you so far? Oh, I didn't even do that on purpose. Well, hope you have a lot of fun, and you don't get too scared to sleep. You gotta sleep to get stronger. Very true. Honestly, I have been sleeping all that well last 2 nights. Not for, like, like spooky reasons. Oh, Halloween's so scary or anything. It's just, yeah, no. Sometimes you just get a rough night's sleep. Sometimes a bit awkward. Perhaps my sleeping schedule's a bit messed up. But, you know, it always writes itself out. Right as rain, eventually, so perhaps it's not something I should be too worried about in the first place. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, if you see any of those horrible monsters out there, something totes, I skipped through it too quickly because I am a fool, as it turns out. What other Halloween stories have I got? I got a feeling that this will be a Halloween that makes history books in a good way too. What I was always sad about was Halloween never landed during school times, because we have something called half term. Or maybe it's just a full term. Wait, hold on. No, it's half term. I think Halloween always falls on in school days. Going out, stirring up some Halloween trouble is fun, but so is handing out candy at home. What kind of ghouls or goblins will turn up next? My imagination is totes running wild if it does that. It does that. Since I'm West Island's top Halloween trendsetter, I super duper prepped for tonight. I stocked up on enough candy to treat an entire army, but doesn't mean I'll load you up. Knocking on everyone's door is half fun. Go on, get back out there so I can keep stuffing my face with a stockpile. What do you, that's too much candy. I just kicked something. I was like, what's this? And it turns out my drawers beneath my desk were open. What a Halloween scare that was. Yeah, I was always a bit sad about Halloween never really landed during school times, because wouldn't it be fun to, you know, come into school, like have a mufti day, as it's called, basically a non-school uniform day, because yes, here in the UK, we have copious amounts of schools have school uniforms. But you can dress up in a costume, I suppose, for that Halloween day itself. I'm trying to think if we ever dressed up, like had a Halloween party in school anyway, just before, after. I don't think we have, or at least not one in my schools that I can remember. What a missed opportunity, you would have thought. I remember I used to go to this like church group thing, a church youth group is perhaps a better way to put it, to celebrate some, I don't remember what we celebrated. But there were some Halloween events that happened there. I can't really remember all that well. Oh, you know, well, I think that's a story I told last time, which I'm not going to tell again because it's pretty involved and I don't remember it all too well. And I do remember being like, why aren't there like cobwebs and spiders and like little bats around the place for decorating this, getting into the Halloween spirit? But then I remember there's sort of like a youth pastor, attendee or person who was there attending things. It's like, oh, you know what? Let's dress up as Jack and spook some villagers, because I don't think we did that last year. Tank, calm down, trick or treat. Yeah, and the youth worker who was out was like, oh yeah, we don't put that up because we have a lot of young kids who come and they might find it scary. And I remember at the time thinking like, why Okay, you gave me a pumpkin? I want a pumpkin. You see, we've got a pumpkin farm already, Tank. You think I need a pumpkin? Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. I remember thinking at times like, what sort of kid's gonna get scared by like a fake spider and cobwebs and bats? But you know, now I'm old, I'm like, I don't know. It's not really my place to sort of judge a kid if they are scared by that situation in the first place. And for all intents and purposes, it is kind of scary, I suppose, when you're a young kid and, you know, everything is kind of scary to a certain extent. So while I was disappointed because, you know, hadn't really interacted much with Halloween, because as I say, not really a big thing in China. Apart from now, due to westernization, I suppose, it wasn't really much of a big thing. Oh, you know what? One year, I was in Japan during Halloween time. So I went to Shibuya's Halloween sort of like parade thing where loads of people were there, you know. Whatchamacalliting? I'm trying to think. Like, it's in Shibuya, there's a load of people dressed up as Halloween. Well, was I dressed up? Nah. I was not, but... It was quite fancy, everyone's costumes. Yikes, it's Jack. Jack, buddy. I've got some candy for you. Don't trick me, please. I don't think we did this last year, so this is something different at least. Whew, I'm safe for now. Wait just a minute. It's you, dear. You really got me with that get-up. And you got my candy, eh? You got. What happens if I talk to you again? It's fun to get your heart racing. Okay, then you just go back to normal stuff. Okay, let's go play some tricks on our villagers. Ever so quickly? Or everyone who's outside at least. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe Phoebe has different dialogue if we come dressed up as Jack. Yeah, so in Japan, they have a thing in Shibuya where a load of people dress up in Halloween costumes. I suppose it's meant to be more like a Halloween party for adults. Oh no, not you, not Jack. Do you want candy? Because I'll give you some candy. It's all yours. Haha, you have been fooled again. Wait a second. Is that you, dear? Whoa, you got me good. That was awesome. You look just like him. You made my Halloween. Bwahaha. Thanks, Phoebe. It's fun going around tricking everyone. Yeah, so it's sort of like an adult Halloween party, I suppose, where everyone's gone for like really good costumes and all that sort of thing. A lot of people just like dressed up as like bloody zombies, I will say that. But you know, get your regular old costume, get a load of fake blood, splat, splat, splitter, splatter. There you go. I like how he doesn't react. What if I speak you like this? Ooh. I like how everything just looks disappointedly. Oh no, Jack, look, if it's candy you want, take it. Please don't play a trick on me. Fooled again. There you go, Jack. Or should I say, canapé? Oh, I wasn't fooled, but I will say your Jack costume's superb, so keep that candy, sweetheart. Aww. Gah, it's him. Please, Jack, I've got candy. I like how Snooty Villagers just play along, very in keeping to her character. Just don't trick me, okay? I can... Wait, you're not Jack. It's you, Fabu. Okay, you fooled me. And yeah, the wardrobe was good, but your acting sold it. Bravo, Fabu. You mean my dead face acting where I did literally nothing? I'm glad it was so convincing. Now here's the real question. Do they have different villagers? Different conversations? It seems like no. It seems like they say exactly the same thing. Should I say vitamin D? You still call me vitamin D. I forgot about that one. That was quite an old nickname. All right, almost done. Almost done. It's got Apollo, Lily, and Biscuit left, I think. And Rowan. Jack, please don't trick me. Please, here, take some candy. Thank you. Now wait just a pumpkin carving minute. You're mountain. That costume really had me sweating. If you really wanted to scare the daylights out of me, well, good job, kiddo. But please don't ever do that again. I believe you can only do this once per person. I do like her reactions. Why didn't I do this last time? I probably had like an excess of candy or something, right? Now we can actually get into the Halloween spirit of tricking our friends. Oh, I had to pick a custom thumbnail for today. I forgot. It's right. This take like 5 seconds because I don't really do much in the first place. I sort of just draw over. Jack, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hog over candy. See, I'll give you some right now. That'll take about 5 minutes. There's a treat. No tricks, okay? Wait a minute. Is that you, dear? Dang, you scared me pretty good. You look just like a real Jack. Does he know you're pretending to be him, yes? Well, I talked to him like this, I think, and I don't think he reacted. Perhaps we can talk to him again and see if he does anything. I don't think he reacted. Or maybe it's because I'm not exactly like him, because I'm not wearing... Well, I don't know what shoes he's wearing. I don't think we see his shoes. Lily, where are you? Where are you? Lily? Where did you go? You cannot run from me, Lily. Come out, wherever you are. So I'm just like trying to throw in as many sort of Halloween horror movie trope lines as I can. Yikes! It's Jack. Jack, buddy, I got some candy for you. Don't trick me, please. It sounds like the same thing that Tank said. Whew, I'm safe for now. Wait just a minute. It's you, Mountain. You really got me when I get up, and you got my candy based. Actually, no, maybe that's different. Where's Lily gone? Is she hiding away? Squirreling away? Because this get up is just too spooky for her. Oh no, you're over here. Hello, Lily. Jack? Oh no, here, take us candy. Just no tricks, please. Everyone's so scared of Jack's tricks. You would have thought you'd be kind of more scared to me, like this eldritch being? What? I knew something felt off. It's only you, Fabu. You look just like Jack. Good job scaring me like that. You should keep that candy. You earned it, Rainy. Aw, everyone's so affirmative of my Jack costume, which, you know, he gave to me. Is the weird part, I suppose. Isn't that kind of weird? Why would he give us his own clothes? Not literally clothes off his back, but like from his own wardrobe, I suppose. I know, I don't really have many Halloween stories. As I said, didn't really do much Halloween trick-or-treating. Oh my gosh, it's you. It's really you, the great and mighty Jack. Has the time finally come? Are you here to steal me away and turn me into an apprentice? I'm so ready. Wait, no, you're here for candy? I don't have some for you. As much as you want, please don't prank me. Jack really even steals favourite people. I gave you candy so you won't prank me, right? Those are your rules. No takesy backsies. Wait, backwards train all the way up. You're not Jack. You're just super trickster for boo. Okay, you totes got me. You look just like him. Wow, what a great Halloween prank. You can't tell anyone about all that apprentice stuff I said, Kay. Honestly, pretty based already. Who wouldn't want to be Jack's apprentice and, you know, go spook things? Be the next Grim Reaper. Well, I was going to say Grim Reaper. I don't think Jack's really the same as a Grim Reaper. And I'm not really sure people pass away in Animal Crossing land, to be perfectly honest. But I think with that, we'll sort of round off this episode here. Seems like a good time as any. I think we'll change back into our usual clothes, because otherwise I'll forget tomorrow. Change back into our usual clothes. But yeah, happy Halloween to you. I hope you have a wild fun time going trick-or-treating or doing whatever you want, throwing a Halloween party or other things. But for now, if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me Dear Darling Discord. Follow me on Twitter down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, happy Halloween. Bye bye for now.